with the Pledge of Allegiance to our great nation, followed by the national anthems of the United States and Israel. So let's have a round of applause for the national anthem and Pledge of Allegiance to McAleese.
Welcome everybody! What's going on, Miami? Trump 2020! Trump 2020! Trump 2020! Trump 2020! I want to introduce someone very special. One of the most patriotic Zionists, loves Israel, loves America, represents our community in such a beautiful, respectful way. She's got an amazing voice from Balzac. Margalit Mala, can you give her a big round of applause? We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance, everybody.
Dude.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we're going to do the national anthem first. Not yet. Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets rang aloud, the bombs bursting in air. That our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free?
Hi Matt. Hey, how you doing? You guys need to know each other and introduce me. Hello. Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
loves America, if there is anybody who is the epitome of realizing the American dream, I want to introduce a man who is all about living the American dream, a great patriot, a great friend to Donald Trump. I want to introduce and have a round of applause for our most generous host, Mr. Michael Desner. Let's hear it for Michael Desner, Naomi Desner, the Desner family, and Desert Corp. Here's to the Desners. Let's have a round of applause before I get to our host. And Mr. Desner, Naomi, thank you very much, and God bless you for having us today. Thank you. Before I introduce our host, who wants to ride with Rolling Thunder today? Let's hear it for Rolling Thunder. Let me introduce, we're all here to honor and support our president, Donald Trump. Let's hear it for Donald Trump winning in 2020. By the way, how many of you are going to come back to Desertland Park one of these days? What do you think? I want to introduce our host and the man who made this happen today. He is a great, great patriot who also realized the American dream. You will never meet a more patriotic individual. He is one of the most important and most vocal speakers against anti-Semitism. He is the leader against anti-Semitism in this nation. He is a prominent business person, a wonderful family man. He organized this entire event today. He made this happen today. And he is the founder. He is the founder of Israelis for Trump. Let me introduce our host, Mr. Joe Vivaroni.
I want to start with something very special. It's a blessing. Baruch atah Hashem, Elokeinu melech haolam, שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה. We're very fortunate to live in a time where we have a president that not only brought America to the front lines against terrorism, to the front lines in global peace, a president that secures peace and safety all over the world and right here in America. A president that knows how to support our law enforcement officers. Our president takes care of our veterans. Our president rebuilt the United States military to a might never seen before in the history of the world. And when you have such a big might and such a big, powerful, proud nation, that's when peace comes. And we all saw it last month when Bahrain and United Arab Emirates that vowed to boycott Israel, that vowed to align themselves with the terrorist Palestinian Authority that supports terrorists. They aligned themselves for years. All of a sudden, with a big, strong president, they want to make peace because the president knows how to do it. This is why I'm here to support the #1 president this country has ever seen. The #1 president that Israel has ever seen. The president that kept his word he promised, and he kept his word over and over and over and over again. Donald Trump proved that a politician can deliver on his promise, and that's what he did. My president declared, my president, I'm saying my president, I was born in Jerusalem. My president, our great nation president, declared Jerusalem as the capital of Israel, as U.S. Palestine. The name Jerusalem appears in the Bible more than 700 times. Not once in the Quran. Not once. 700 times in our Bible and not once in the Quran. Jerusalem has been the eternal capital of the Jewish nation. Jerusalem has been the capital of the state of Israel since its founding 72 years ago. And Jerusalem will forever remain the capital of the state of Israel and the capital of the Jewish nation. I'm not done. This great president immediately canceled the Palestinian authorities' aid of $350 million a year that they pay terrorist families. This president ripped to shreds the terrible, the disastrous Iran nuclear agreement.
Yes!
And secured Israel against getting attacked by a nuclear bomb, chas v'shalom, from Iran, from the Ayatollahs. And what does the other party stand for? Let me tell you what they stand for. You know, people say that Biden, in 47 years, I need some quiet, please. I'm gonna wait. If you have something more important, I'll wait for you to speak. People say Donald Trump accomplished in 47 months more than Joe Biden has done in 47 years. And not only that, let me tell you what Joe Biden did do. Joe Biden flew over in the middle of the night, airplanes full of cash, $1.8 billion to give the terrorists, the Ayatollah terrorists over there, to support the terrorist proxies all over the Middle East. That's what Joe Biden did. So when somebody tells you he didn't do anything, no. I call out Joe Biden right here from this stage. You have blood on your hands, Joe Biden. Sleepy Joe, you have blood on your hands. $1.8 billion to give terrorists is blood on your hands. It's American blood on your hands. It's Israeli blood on your hands. And the world citizens' blood on your hands. But he didn't end it there. He also gave 150 billion. 180, I'm sorry. I'll correct myself. Donald Trump said it yesterday in a rally. Our president said it yesterday. $180 billion was given to the Iranians a few moments before Barack Obama left office. A few moments. They wanted to make sure to stick it to all of us, to stick it to America, to stick it to the Jewish community, to stick it to Israel, and all the freedom-loving folks from around the world. That's what that disastrous administration did. And we are here today. We are here today to stand proud. Each and every one of us, but we're not only Israelis. We've got Latinos here. We've got Americans here. We've got people, great people, citizens of Florida that escaped socialist Venezuela. They saw what a socialist regime does to a nation. People standing in line for bread. People standing in line for water. They're trying to escape here to get the American dream. To live the American dream that this president believes in. And it is our job. It is our duty. We call it in Hebrew, Tzav Shmone. It is a Tzav Shmone. You have to come in just like you're going to war. You gotta go and talk to everybody. You gotta talk to your neighbors. You gotta talk to your friends. You gotta talk on social media. You gotta post it. And you gotta say, my vote is going to count. My vote is going to count. It's going to make sure that this president gets 4 more years to finish the job he started. 4 more years. I am on fire. Let me tell you, I am on fire. You guys give me the fire. You guys ignite it. You guys are going to make sure that this fire spreads all over the country. A fire that brings in everybody together. Patriotism. We're going to make sure that this president is going to have 4 more years. I'm going to share one small story with you, and then I'm going to introduce somebody very special. Right before this, I was interviewed by one of the media outlets that's out here. And they said to me, why are you doing this? Are you doing this? You know, you're supporting the president, we understand, but maybe you should calm down, because if Joe Biden wins, maybe he's going to stick it to Israel later. Maybe he's going to stick it to the Jews later. You know what my answer was? This question belongs in the 1940s, not in 2020 America. In Nazi Germany they asked those questions. Jews did not have a voice then. We have a voice, and we're going to speak it, and we're going to speak it loud and clear. And we are very fortunate and blessed to have such great allies right here in the Desert family has been unbelievable in their support to our president. They've been unbelievable in the support to all communities. We don't have enough time to even list the great things this family has done. And they made sure that this rally will take place. We weren't looking for a place that just is looking for business. We were looking for a place that has a meaning behind it. The Desert family stands behind this place. And this place here is our place. And I want to thank them in the name of all of us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now I want to hear as loud as you can. USA!
USA! USA! USA!
You know, they're angry and said, Jews are not going to come to your rally. Nobody's going to come to your rally. Don't do it. Don't do it. Why? Just spread it on social media. You have a viral page, just do it. Take a look around you. There's nobody here, right? Take a look around you. We got hundreds of signs. And big shout out to everybody involved. Everybody involved. Jay-Z, what you see over there, the rapping, the signage, the flags, Jay-Z, we love you. Our DJ, our great DJ, Rolling Thunder! Rolling Thunder! All the great organizers, Jennifer, the general manager of this place, you're amazing. Eddie, all your staff, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We're here to stand with unbelievable organizations like Jackson, they're here. They're here with us. An organization that started with women that had enough, and they said enough to the Democratic Party. We're going to make sure Jews vote correctly.
Sorry. Thanks.
And now, allow me, please. Please take a look up, right there. Take a look. Give a round of applause right there, Israelis for Trump. Keep America first. I want to take a second and introduce someone very special. Came here all the way from Washington, D.C. He's the president's right-hand man in strategic affairs when it comes to anything that has to do with Israel, anything that has to do with Jewish outreach. All the great decisions go through this great person that's here with us today. I am humbled and I am proud that he is one of our people here. I want you, in a big hand of applause, we have Mr. Morris Epstein! He's taking the lead with me today in the Lambo. I asked him if he can drive, he showed me his license. Hello, Miami! Give a huge thank you to Joe Zavaloni for putting this on. What an amazing event. Huge round of applause, come on. I bring greetings from the President of the United States to all of you. And thank you all so much for coming out. And let's have a 4 more years chant right now.
4 more years! 4 more years! 4 more years! 4 more years! 4 more years!
Well, Joe put it well. This president is the greatest champion the state of Israel and the Jewish people have ever had in the Oval Office. And yes, I'm including Truman in that, who recognized Israel in 1948. President Trump has stood with the Jewish people and Israel throughout his presidency, while Joe Biden stands with Iran and anti-Semites. President Trump signed an executive order combating anti-Semitism throughout America, specifically on college campuses, to make sure that the hateful BDS movement does not discriminate against our people. President Trump did that. President Trump signed the Never Again Holocaust Education Act to make sure that it never happens again, never again, never again, never again. That act gave $10 million toward Holocaust education for our younger generation. So important. Huge hand for the president for signing the Never Again Holocaust Education Act. The president signed the Just Act, which has made it easier for the victims of the Holocaust and their descendants to get restitution from the regimes that owe it to them. And now, think about everything this president has done for the great, wonderful state of Israel. Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. He did something that was promised by Bill Clinton, George W. Bush, and Barack Obama. None of them did it. President Trump got it done. President Trump moved the U.S. Embassy to Jerusalem, recognized the Golan Heights as Israeli territory, and he ripped up that terrible, no-good, awful Iran nuclear deal. Let's be clear, folks. Let's be clear. The Iran nuclear deal was an existential threat to the United States of America and the state of Israel. It was an existential threat that was signed by Barack Obama and the lifelong failure of Joe Biden.
Yes.
President Trump ripped it up and he treats Israel like Israel and Iran like Iran. The mullahs, the ayatollahs in Iran are shaking in their boots at 4 more years of President Trump, and that's all we're going to give them. 4 more years. And I heard news today, as of this morning, one of my best friends in the world, Avi Berkowitz, Special Representative for International Negotiations, was on the first ever El Al flight from Israel to Bahrain that went over Saudi territory, a huge achievement. 4 more years. 4 more years. 4 more years. 4 more years. You know what? The media is going to say, the hateful media is going to say there was nobody here. They're going to say, a couple of people showed up. But we know what it is. We see the video, we see the plane overhead, and we know that the support for this president in the state of Florida, in the state of Ohio, state of Michigan, the state of North Carolina, Pennsylvania, and all over the country is way, way bigger than it is for sleepy, pathetic, sad Joe Biden. Don't think about those polls. Don't even believe the polls. You know, they poll 15% more Democrats. They say, whoa, why he's leading by 15 points? Well, guess what? Of course you polled 15% more Democrats. That is a lie. This president is winning, and he's going to win on November 3rd. Look right there. Israelis for Trump, keep America great, make America great again. All right, we're about to get it going. We're about to ride in the caravan. I want to thank each and every one of you. I love you. The president loves you. And we're going to win this thing on November 3rd. Vote. Tell your friends to vote. Tell your family to vote. Do everything you can so the Jewish people in America and the state of Israel have 4 more years of the greatest champion that they've ever had, President Donald J. Trump in the White House. We love Trump! 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 We love Trump!
We love Trump.
How about the voice upstairs, everybody? Give him a big hand! Another hand for Joe Kamalabi! What's going on? I'm going to tell you what's going on. We got about 4 more incredible people that are going to give their message here, and we need to support them. We need to support them in every way we can. And then we're going to get out of here to the biggest caravan this city has ever seen, and the biggest demonstration from the Jewish community to our president. But before that, I have an amazing friend to the state of Israel, an amazing friend to the Jewish community, Jewish himself, the only Republican member of the House of Representatives right here in Florida. He's responsible for combating personally anti-BDS laws. He's responsible personally for introducing the bills to protect your children in the Jewish schools. And I want to tell you, I had a great pleasure and honor to fly over with Representative, he's right here with us, Randy Fine, to the mission, to the governor's special mission for Israel. One of our best friends, give him a big hand of applause, Representative Randy Fine.
Wow. Well, thank you, everybody, and thank you, Joe, for doing this extraordinary job of organizing this here today. It's my honor to be here. I drove down here this morning from 3 hours away. I am the only Jewish Republican in the Florida legislature. 160 members. Because we all know about the president's accomplishments in Washington, and we all know about the president's accomplishments on the world stage. But what you may not know is the president's accomplishments right here in Florida, as they relate to protecting Jews right here in Florida. So I want to tell you 4 stories about the last 4 years. The first story, as Joe Biden was leaving the White House, he decided to give Israel and Jewish Americans a parting gift. Do you remember that UN resolution in December? Right, where they said, well, Israel really doesn't have a claim to Jerusalem. We're not going to veto that. We're not going to stand with Israel. We're going to sort of hedge. But Obama and Biden's gift to all of us as they left. Do you want to know what happened right after that? Right after that, threats against Jewish day schools in Florida exploded because anti-Semitism was legitimized by that decision. But Donald Trump said that wasn't acceptable, and working with the Republicans in the legislature and our Republican governor, we passed here in Florida, for the first time in American history, millions upon millions of dollars of dedicated funding for Jewish day schools to protect Jewish children, because Jews have the right to be safe in school. That's what we did our first year. You know how the other side responded? They responded by saying, but Israel is bad. We need to boycott them. We need to divest against them. We need to sanction them. Under previous regimes, under previous administrations, we said in the state of Florida it was okay to do business with governments that boycotted Israel. And so under the leadership of this president right here in the state of Florida in the second year, we said, we don't care how much business you want to do with us. If you boycott Israel, the state of Florida boycotts you. But that wasn't enough. That wasn't enough. Shortly thereafter, and many of you may know this, in 2019, I believe this happened. It happened the last couple of years. Anybody here from Palm Beach County? Anybody here from Boca Raton? You ever see Holocaust survivors in Boca Raton? Yeah. That's not good enough for a lot of people. Apparently, not apparently, it happened. The principal of Spanish River High School in Boca Raton, said, I can't say that the Holocaust happened. I can't say that the Holocaust happened. I can't say, as a matter of historical fact, that the Holocaust happened. By the way, he could go into any deli in Boca and find out that the Holocaust happened. And for a year, nothing happened to him. It was covered up. It was covered up by largely Democrat politicians who sit on that school board and did absolutely nothing about it. But when we found out about it, under the leadership of this president, we asked one simple question. I asked this question to the school district myself. What would have happened if that principal had said, you know, I can't say as a matter of historical fact that slavery happened. What would have happened to that principal? He'd have been gone by lunchtime, as he should have been, to be clear. But when you say, I can't say as a matter of historical fact that the Holocaust actually happened, what happens? Nothing. By the way, their recommendation was if the guy watched Schindler's List and went to the Holocaust Museum, he would learn what happened. There's a principle. So under the leadership of this president, we said that is not acceptable. And so we passed the strongest anti-Semitism law in the history of the United States. In Florida, if you are a teacher or a principal or an administrator, whether you're in kindergarten or you're in college, if you deny that the Holocaust happened, if you side with BDS, if you single out Israel,
then why was he reinstated?
Anti-Semitic, you will be treated the exact same way now. The exact same way as if you engage in racist behavior. That is what we have gotten done in Florida under President Trump. But this is what we're up against, and I will close with this. This is what we're up against. When that anti-Semitism bill was being put through the Florida legislature, a bill that simply defined anti-Semitism and said we're going to treat anti-Semitism the same way we treat racism. Who could be against that? one of the third, well, Ilhan Omar for sure, but not just Ilhan Omar. The Democratic leader of the Florida Senate said publicly, and this is what we get out of the Joe Biden camp. She said publicly, fighting anti-Semitism is the wrong battle against the wrong enemy.
Why was the principal reinstated with $152,000 back pay?
That is a very good question. Thank you.
I wrote all about it. No answer?
She said that. She said fighting anti-Semitism is the wrong battle against the wrong
high
enemy.
school freedom of speech.
That's what we're up against. That's what happens if President Trump does not get elected. That culture begins to continue. So I asked all of you, everyone here is going to vote for Donald Trump, and everyone here is going to make sure that they do it sooner rather than later. But you may have friends and you may have family members that may not be planning to vote for the president, and they may not be planning to vote at all. So what I challenge you to do, the reason I drove down here from 3 miles away was to ask each of you, get 5 others, get 10 others. Don't just talk to each other. We've got to go, and we have to commit, because if we do that, the side that wants to win the election more is going to be the side that wins on November 3rd. I know what I'm doing. I hope you will join me in doing it well. Let's get 4 more years.